Incoming transmission standby. Welcome to the Nod News Network. According to reports, the action would be in the national security interest of the U.S., according to Secretary of State Antony Blinken. According to reports, as part of a prisoner swap agreement that would see some Iranians released in exchange for Americans detained in the Islamic Republic, the U.S. government has granted waivers to foreign banks allowing them to release $6 billion in frozen Iranian assets. The clearances were given last week by Secretary of State Antony Blinken, according to a congressional notification from the State Department, which was cited by the Associated Press and other media sources on Monday. According to Blinken, lifting the restrictions would be in the national security interest of the United States to waive the imposition of sanctions. This will allow Iran to access funds that had been frozen in South Korea and Qatar as a result of U.S. sanctions. The notice stated that the United States has committed to release 5 Iranian nationals currently detained in the United States and to permit the transfer of approximately $6 billion in Iranian funds currently held in restricted accounts in the Republic of Korea to restricted accounts in Qatar, where the funds will only be available for humanitarian trade. U.S. officials have warned that there may be conditions associated with the assets. National Security Council, NSC, spokesperson John Kirby told reporters last month that the money would only be used for food, medicine, and medical equipment that would not have a dual military use. He promised that a rigorous process would be in place to ensure compliance. 5 Americans are being detained in Iran, according to the White House, which also admitted that 4 of them had just been freed from Tehran's Evin prison. All 5 are currently being held under house arrest. Sia Maknamazi, Morad Tarbaz, and Ahmad Shaghi are the names of 3 of the captives. The other 4 have asked to remain anonymous. According to people familiar with the negotiations quoted by AP, the captives might be freed as soon as next week. Adrienne Watson, a representative of the NSC, stated that the negotiations are still a sensitive and ongoing process, but she also noted that no individuals have been or will be released into U.S. custody this week. Tehran has consistently demanded an end to the increased U.S. economic sanctions that were put in place after the withdrawal from the 2015 nuclear agreement by former U.S. President Donald Trump. Despite the fact that negotiations to restart the nuclear agreement in exchange for the lifting of sanctions have mostly frozen, Kirby has stated that the U.S. would welcome any steps Iran takes to curtail its nuclear program. The potential prisoner swap deal comes as tensions in the Persian Gulf are growing. In recent weeks, Washington has ordered a number of military deployments there, including the deployment of guided missile destroyers, F-35 fighter fighters, and other warships. According to the U.S. Navy, 3,000 American Marines and sailors were stationed in the area last month to dissuade Iranian forces after Tehran was charged with harassment and seizures of merchant vessels. This has been the Nod News Network, transmission complete.